Now, I'm not saying that you should steal the graphics and gameplay of one of the most famous combat sports video games from the world's most litigious and biggest video game company in the world. But if you are going to do that, I would recommend one of two things. Number one, a very good lawyer. Or two, failing that, a 6.5 foot absolute unit of man flesh who hurts people with his fists. Elite may not have had number one, but it certainly had number two. Also, apparently Nintendo really didn't give a thundering Yoshi bum egg about the UK micros in the mid-80s, if this and Ocean's Kong are anything to go by. But yes, big old Frank Bruno, a ubiquitous pugilist on 80s television. A brilliant giant of both the ring and the CRT, thanks to his Goliath of a personality. He was game for a laugh, was our Frank, having an infectious laugh, surprisingly low ego for a boxer, and a great sense of humour. But Franklin Roy Bruno MBE wasn't just an affable personality wearing Dizzy the Egg handwear. He was a formidable fighter too. From 45 fights, he had 40 wins, 38 resulting in knockouts, and was the holder of the WBC heavyweight title in 1995 and 1996. Of those 5 losses, 2 were against Mike Tyson, who coincidentally was the face for some time of the game series from which Frank's title has so liberally borrowed, with that game being, of course, Punch-Out! Punch-Out! Was an arcade game that first graced coin-operated emporiums in 1984. The OG Punch-Out! Puts you in the baggy shorts of a green-haired nameless brawler, and just like them snakes on Facebook, send me a DM about 'em, love, we can see right through him. Following very shortly afterwards, the same year even, we got a sequel. Gameplay was very similar, but with a more outlandish cast of characters. Many of them look suspiciously like the cast of opponents in Elite's, what shall we call this, tribute to Nintendo series. Elite's game certainly predates the most beloved iteration of the franchise, that being the Nintendo Entertainment System version, but a lot of the pre-NES cast of characters did indeed make a ring comeback on later iterations of the series, starting with the Super Nintendo version. Elite, though, weren't the only company to rip off Nintendo's Punch-Out! Spanish software house Dynamic Software did a 1-2 jab of appropriated intellectual property theft, releasing a title called Rocky the same month as Frank Bruno's boxing, which even featured a caricature of Sly Stallone in his most iconic role. The game was recalled by UK publisher Gremlin Graphics swiftly afterwards and renamed Rocco because MGM didn't mess about. Elite published Frank Bruno's boxing in December 1985 for the big 3 UK computer systems of the time: the Commodore 64, the Amstrad CPC, and the one we're concentrating on today, the ZX Spectrum. Elite developed the title in-house and apparently devised the game's of its time cast while drunk at their local public house, according to Commodore 64 graphic artist Chris Harvey, posting on Lemon 64. Aside from the 3 characters taken directly from Super Punch-Out!, those being Bear Hugger, now called Canadian Crusher, Dragon Chan, Fling Long Chop in Elite's game, and Vodka Drunkinski, now known as Andra Punchradov. We also get a cast of new characters, including Tribal Trouble from Africa, who looks very, The game's racial stereotypes, according to Chris, even was brought up during one of Margaret Thatcher's question times in Parliament. Oh, I say. But how is this game, this racially charged, officially endorsed copyright theft, of a pugilist simulator, how is it? How does it play? The answer is not half bad. You'll control our eponymous slugger as he stands toe-to-toe with this range of international stereotypes. It's got a decent range of punches, left and right punches to your opponent's jaw, body punches, and uppercuts and hooks are included in Frank's arsenal, along with dodges and guards to make sure Frank looks presentable come panto season. There are fairly advanced play mechanics involved too. Your performance in the ring can change depending on your current health and if you've taken Frank into a dominant spell from a dodgy one earlier on. You can also either wear away at your opponents and put them on their silk-shorted rump, or you can land a flurry of blows that will culminate in a killer hook or cut to have them seeing stars as they lie back first on the canvas. I'd argue that the keyboard is the better option over the joystick, although I am told that a combination of the keyboard and the joystick is the way to go. But I certainly found that the keyboard alone felt more intuitive than the joystick to locate particular punches. The bad news is that yes, this game is a multi-loader, but you are given passwords at the end of each fight should you wish to have a rematch against a troublesome slayer of our dear friend Franklin. Both graphics and sound are probably best described as scrappy, but it's not violently repulsive in either aspect. You won't be surprised to find out that, like its inspiration, Frank's Road to Boxing Glory, it is a solo affair, but for that single player, it's an enjoyable enough fight. It's a game that rewards you for sticking at it, which, like the series it borrows from, is something that you should do. Frank Bruno's Boxing had a few re-releases. He and his game headlined a fairly strong compilation called Frank's Big Box that featured classics like Saboteur, Commando and Batty, as well as Airwolf. Bloody Airwolf. But it also got a re-release at a budget price via Elite's cheapy chappy title arm Encore. This was interesting for one very good reason. It was released the same month as Bruno's first bout against Mike Tyson in 1989. The game was given the subtitle commemorative issue Bruno vs Tyson. And that particular matchup, well, it feels very on point for what I'm about to tell you. Just like real life Frank Bruno's computer game, it hasn't got a chance of beating Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. But just like the fighter, that doesn't mean that Frank Bruno's Boxing is a bad pugilist. It's just that the NES title is an untouchable icon of its own generation. Dodgy tribute or not, on the spectrum at least, Frank Bruno's Boxing, well, it is a contender. Crash awarded it an 86% in August 1985. They said that Frank's boxing game is the type that gradually grows on you. They said they found the game to be addictive. Sinclair user gave it a 4 out of 5 in their issue 42. They said, if you're into vicarious violence, buy it. Your Spectrum gave it a whirl in their issue 18. A 4 out of 5 award from Roger, and this here little write-up. Slugging through the screens, saw me swimming in sweat until I was out for the count, but it was worth it. So yes, glowing recommendations from me and the computer magazines of the time. But if you see Nintendo, please keep stum. Otherwise, you might get a visit from Frank. You know what I mean, Harry? Like, subscribe, and Kay, thanks, bye.